At 5, it's a mistake that leads to lost rent money and an eviction.
How Coin 6 is helping make it right. A holiday season eviction notice for local seniors. How an issue with the state program may be a big part of the problem.
And a frigid week ahead. The outreach happening now to make sure it won't turn deadly.
Plus,
people are driving a lot more recklessly.
Another pedestrian killed in Portland. Why local roads only seem to get more dangerous.
Live, you're watching Coin 6 News at 5. Watching out for you.
Only on Coin 6, a disabled senior facing eviction tonight after the Oregon Emergency Rental Assistance Program fails to pay rent to the right landlord. At 5 o'clock, I'm Jeff Gianola.
And I'm Elizabeth Din. After Coin 6 reached out about this, the state says that they are now elevating the case. And our Brandon Thompson is speaking with the tenant about this dilemma. And Brandon, how did this happen?
So the state agency ahead of this program tells me it was an error on their end that had them paying the wrong landlord. And when it was time for that landlord to pay that money back, they kept some of it. And whether they have the legal grounds to do so is now bringing accusations of fraud. Facing eviction with freezing weather on the way.
And I'm disabled, but I'm working, to survive.
Mary Bowers lost her job last year after being hurt in a car crash. She filed for Oregon's emergency rental assistance and qualified. After paying only part of her benefits last year, they reached out to her in May to say the rest of the year's rent is covered. 2 months before, in March, Mary had moved.
We confirmed the new landlord because I couldn't delete the old landlord.
But from July through November, checks flowed to Mary's old apartment managed by Wonder Dog Leasing. The state did not know until Mary contacted them ahead of Thanksgiving. Wonder Dog paid part back, and until Coin 6 reached out, ORAP would not pay Mary's new apartment until they had every dime returned. Emails Mary showed Coin 6 show Wonder Dog claimed Mary still owed late fees and utilities, though the utilities are part of a lawsuit against Wonder Dog. The bulk of the money is from a chunk of rent the state should have paid. That's because in the early days of the pandemic, the Landlord Compensation Fund would pay 80% of a tenant's rent after a landlord applied for it. State lawmakers later passed a law allocating money for all of the rent to be covered, but ORAP was still only paying 80% of Mary's rent, with Wonder Dog keeping the 20% it claims Mary still owes.
It's not legal for the landlord to have taken that check, even if they weren't the old landlord, whatever. It's also not legal to pay late fees with the ORAP checks.
When ORAP contacted Wonder Dog in October, Wonder Dog confirmed Mary lived there, even though emails show the management company confirming Mary's last day in March. Margot Black says Mary's options are limited as her new landlord has the legal right to evict her without payment.
And not receiving the ORAP funds because your former landlord committed fraud is not a defense to an eviction.
So we did reach out to Mary's current property management company, that's Legacy Management. They hung up on me once, but did take a message the second time. We've also reached out to Wonder Dog several times at several different numbers and have not heard back. I did touch base with Mary in the last little bit. She says she did hear from the state, but it's unclear if they're going to be able to make that more than $9,000 payment by midnight tonight in order to prevent her eviction from going forward. Reporting live in Portland, Brandon Thompson, Coin 6 News.